What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Inside the Force. Dave Cottingham with Hannah Burr.
Hello.
Good evening, Hannah. How are you?
I'm doing well, and how are you?
Doing good. It's been a little bit for Inside the Force. Both of us have been. I went on. I went on a cruise.
And I had a lot of shoots last week.
Yes, you had a lot of shoots last week.
Early morning in the park.
I had to. Yeah, love it. And I had to catch up on. When you're out a week and come back to work, it's like double the work. So.
You have to spend at least 1 or 2 days alone catching up on your emails.
Oh yeah, and I don't ever get time alone, so it's all right. I'm almost there, but cruise was great. This was, there wasn't really anything Star Wars on it. There's not too much Star Wars on a cruise, but I did do. If you remember last year, I was talking to you about. I did. They have some Star Wars trivia on these, right?
Yeah?
And so last year, I did I want to say I did 4 of them. And, they have them where some are for everybody. And then there's some adult ones, only 18 because they have it in a bar. Kids can't go in there. So it's 18 and over, which is weird. 18 and over into a bar. It's not 21 and over, but
Okay.
whatever. So last year, I remember I had, I had missed a couple the first time, and so I didn't win. And then I think I got 19 out of 20. They do 20 questions. I did 19 out of 20, and I didn't win. And then the next one, I did. And if you tie, they do a tiebreaker question, which usually has to do with how long is the Superstar Destroyer in meters? Whoever's closest, right? So I missed that one, but then finally, at the end, the last one I did, I got the tiebreaker and I won. So I got this little medal, right? So this year, Hannah, I go in, and there were only two trivias.
What?
Yeah, me and my daughter went. There was one that was for everybody, then one that was over 18. So me and my daughter went to the first one. And this time it was weird because this time is the first time I've been on, this is the second time I've been on a cruise, but it's the first time doing the trivia is that they say you do it in team. If you're with people, you work as a team.
Oh.
You're not answering. So me and her worked on it. We got all the answers right, but so did somebody else. So we were in a tiebreaker. So here's the tiebreaker question, Hannah. I want you to see if you know this.
All right.
The tiebreaker question was what I just said. In meters, how long is the Super Star Destroyer? So Vader's executor, the Super Star Destroyer, in meters. So I think kilometers, not just meters, kilometers.
That makes it harder.
Yeah, so a meter is roughly about the same as a yard, right? Our yard,
Right.
It's 3 feet. So I started putting okay, well, a football field is 100 yards, which is about 100 meters. How long? Or then I thought about miles, 5,000 feet is a mile, 5,280 feet is a mile. So it's got to be more than whatever. And they only give you 5 seconds to do this, so you have to
I would say 100.
100 kilometers? No, it's way more than that. Way more than that. Think about it. Think about.
I'm sorry, everybody outside of the U.S. I don't get the metric system.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
No, it would be 500 kilometers.
No, way more.
That's right. Wait, that's right. A kilometer is shorter than a mile. 1,000 kilometers.
Way more.
I give up.
So
radius or diameter?
No, length.
Oh, so diameter?
Not necessarily diameter. Diameter could be the width, but it's the length. From jets to point. like the length of it, like a Star Destroyer is probably, like probably a third, I would say even like a tenth of the size, right? It's massive.
5,000 kilometers.
19,000 kilometers. Yeah.
19.
And I put I was kind of in your realm. I think I ended up writing down I think I can't remember what I put, 8 or 9,000 miles or something, kilometers. So
Did you win?
anyway, I didn't win. Somebody put 16,000. So they got closest.
Were they not from the U.S.?
Probably not. So that was on the first day. So I was like, oh my God. And then like the second to last day, they had another one. And I was like, all right, I'm going. I got to go win this thing. So I go in and I get all 20 questions right again. But 2 other people get all the questions right. So there's 3 of us doing the tiebreaker. And the tiebreaker was, this time it was the original trilogy. How many minutes long is the original trilogy? So the 3 movies.
So all together.
Altogether, how many minutes front to back are all 3 movies together?
I'm going to say 5 hours and 54 minutes.
So you had to write it in minutes. How many minutes is that then?
5 times
5 times
60
60,
is 354 minutes.
354 minutes. Okay. You're close. You would have lost though, just because someone wrote 375.
No.
And the answer is it's
If you say 364,
it's like
I swear.
382 or something like that. Because it's each movie's 2 hours at least, so that's 6 times.
I could have sworn one of them was just under 2 hours.
Right, so it's 360 minutes, and then it's like 15 minutes total on that. So it was like 380. Yeah, it was like 379 or something like that. I think I put like 400. I just
Okay.
thought I was like, so I was over, but not close. And
Yeah.
so anyway, both times I got all the answers right, but I missed the tiebreaker. So
The tiebreaker questions are pretty ridiculous. I am waiting for the one tiebreaker question that I will never forget, and it was when Star Wars Weekends was a thing. Warwick Davis was hosting a trivia challenge, and this was the question that knocked me out, and it knocked me and like 30 other people out. There were 50 of us who were competing. This was the one that like wiped us out, and it was. Let's see if you can get this. In A New Hope, when C-3PO and Chewie are playing that chess game, it's not chess, but you know the game.
Dejarik.
Yeah. How many jumps does C-3PO's piece make?
When it kills Chewbacca's dude?
How many spaces does it move?
I thought is it 2?
You would have moved on.
Okay.
Because they gave multiple choice. They said 2, 3, or 4.
Oh.
And it makes you think, like, because at first when you hear that question, you're like, oh, of course it's 2. But then when you get the answers, you're like, wait, what if it's 3?
Oh.
Because 3 is, and that's what got everyone, including me. That's what
Everybody
got me.
picked 3?
Because when I heard the question, I'm like, oh, it's 2. And then they read off the answer, and I was like, wait.
Yeah, I think I remember like him, the 1, 2.
2.
And then
the 3 is him throwing the
getting
piece.
picked up and getting killed. Yeah,
like
that's right.
In your mind, when you're given those options, you think, well, 3 is the nice number. 3 is your typical movie cinematic number. Things happen in 3s.
Yeah.
I almost wish they didn't ask multiple choice on that question, because then a lot of us probably would have gotten it right. But.
Right. Yeah. No. But last year when I won, I got the tiebreaker question, which was how tall in meters is Chewbacca.
Yeah, he's like.
So I got that one right. I was the closest on that one.
All
I
right,
can't remember what it was.
Oh wait. Do you want to take it? Wait, let's first guess and then I'll look it up.
Well, I think it's. Let's see. Yeah. Let me think
I'm
about it.
going to guess meters.
Yeah, so it's meters. So that means it's
4 meters tall. No,
no. So a meter is
roughly 3 feet. 3.5. That's my guess.
Wait a minute. Then I don't think it was meters. Was it meters? Yeah, it had to have been meters. It wasn't. That's how they measure height, right? Meters. Mm-hmm. Because I can't remember what I. Oh yeah, actually, you had to do it to the. You're right. That's right. You had to do it to the decimal point, right? Like
Then I would say 3.5.
you would say 3.5. I think I wrote down. I want to say I did like 4.9 or something like that. Because, well, no, wait. Let's see, 3 feet, 369. So,
If you said 4 point something, I would have won.
yeah, I said something close to. I won, so I must have said
He's
3.7 maybe.
Nope, he's 2.3. He is 7 feet 6 inches tall.
2.3 meters. Oh,
2.3.
interesting.
Because Peter Mayhew was 7'3"
Yeah, he was definitely 7 foot. Interesting. Okay, I don't remember. Either way, I actually won that.
Wait,
So I
what?
did.
Hang on. Maybe that's not right.
How tall is it in meters?
I'm looking at Wikipedia. Wikipedia doesn't say. But another site, okay, so Wikipedia, not Wikipedia, Wikipedia says 2 point, basically.
No, you know what?
7 feet.
You know what? I think. Let's see. I must. Because I think now I want to say. I think they actually asked. I want to. So he's two. Is he 2 point? It's 2.29 meters. Is that what you see?
Yeah, 2.3.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 feet 3 inches. 2
Then I
point.
don't remember. Then I don't remember what I wrote. I don't remember that question. But the question was how tall he is.
And you
For
got
some
it
reason,
right.
I'm thinking that they asked it in inches
That would have made it
because-
a lot more difficult.
because it was a lot bigger number. I feel like it was a lot bigger number.
Then it must have been inches because
I
then you're
think it had to
doing
have been inches.
7 times 12, which is 84 plus 86, would have been your answer.
Yes, I think that's right. I think I put somewhere like 88 or 89.
Yeah.
So I was a little over. Yeah, I remember it being a bigger number. So
So they didn't play Price is Right rules.
no. If you went over, you were close. You still were close. Okay. Well, that was a tangent. A little bit about my Disney trivia. That I get all the answer. I got all the answers right, and I still don't win. So unfortunately,
It's fine.
but we did. Me and my daughter did go to advanced Marvel trivia, and we won that.
Congratulations.
Yes, based on kind of the MCU stuff, and it was so advanced. To be honest, we only got 15 of the 20 right, but that was the most.
Was it just based on the movies or was it based on comics?
Both, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, because one of the questions we got wrong was like, it was like, who is not a member of some group? Who wasn't ever a member of the Fantastic Four? Because I guess they had other members.
They did randomly.
Yeah, and like they gave it multiple choice. It was like,
Yeah, what was it? I want to see if I can get it.
God, who were the four? There was somebody I didn't know. Medusa. Medusa. They had the Wasp, They had Captain Marvel, or yeah, I think it was Captain Marvel. And then they had Sue Storm, which she obviously is a member. So one of
Yes,
those
yeah.
other three was not ever a member of the Fantastic Four.
It
I had no
wasn't.
idea. We
It
guessed.
wasn't Captain Marvel, right?
It was not.
Okay, so I would have gotten that right. No, wait.
No, she was a member.
Then
So either the Wasp or Medusa was never a member.
the Wasp, right?
The Wasp is correct.
Okay.
The Wasp is correct. So I didn't know who Medusa is, but so we said Medusa.
I've heard of Medusa, but I'm
Yeah,
not
no idea.
as familiar with those comics.
So anyway, yeah, we won.
Yay!
Yeah. Well, here's one that we got right that I don't know if a lot of people knew this. Do you know Happy Hogan's real first name?
Oh my gosh, I actually do. Wait. No, I actually do.
Yeah. I had heard it a long time ago, and I somehow just
Oh my
remembered it.
gosh, it's
It does start with an H.
yeah, it does. Oh, this is really gonna. And it's not something out of the ordinary. Is it Harold?
It is Harold.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes. Good job. It's Harold Hogan. Yes.
Where
Harold
the-
Happy Hogan.
Where the heck did I pull that out of?
I know. That was really impressive, actually. Good job. Yeah.
I knew it. I was just like, wait. It's gonna come. It's
Yeah.
gonna come to me.
Yeah. We got that one. A lot of people didn't get that one. Okay. Well, let's talk Star Wars a little bit because there's not much going on right now. Still not sure when the next series is coming and all that stuff. But we did get something that came out today I want to get to. But first off, thanks to our patrons as always. Truly appreciate the support and trying to get these shows to you guys first. We did do a Beyond the Saga recently. Put out a show on Tarkin, which is a book that came out I'll say a long time ago. It was like 12 years ago.
12 years.
2014, I think.
So yeah,
so
Zach. That means Zach and I
almost
would have
12
been
years.
dating for about a year at that point.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah. 2014, my Eliza was just born.
Oh,
Yeah. So she's 11 now. She
Yeah.
just turned 11. Jesus.
that was a year before I graduated college.
Wow. All right. Thrawn, of course, one of our master patrons, said this was the second canon novel I read after I read Catalyst, which is also a great book.
I need to read it.
Yes. I originally read it in 2016, but listened to the audiobook quite recently and still enjoyed it. Wouldn't say it's vital to overall canon, but it was great insight and more backstory for a great character. That's a
Agreed.
pretty good summary. Yeah, pretty good summary. He did also mention we did Reign of the Empire also, and he did mention he really enjoyed all of Alexander Freed's books. I know some people aren't fans of his writing because it's very in-depth, but I personally love that in Star Wars novels. Sad to hear he's not writing the other two books in the trilogy, but excited to see two new writers take on Star Wars. Loved Reign of the Empire, and it was great timing that they released just before Andor Season 2. Have read it and currently now listening to audiobook and enjoying even more. Oh, great. So he's a twofer. He reads it and listens to it.
All I gotta say is it's like the big corporation talks to each other and like schedules this out perfectly.
Yeah, yeah,
Almost
right.
like they do that.
Yeah, crazy. So, just some minor news. It kind of floated on the radar here a little bit, but this past week, on June 17th, the last novel of the High Republic series dropped, Trials of the Jedi, which basically brings it into the publishing side of the High Republic, there is a comic series, which I'll tell you when that comes out, that kind of finishes out the comic series that still has to come out later this summer. But as far as the novels go, that's it. That's the last as the final battles between the High Republic Jedi and the Nihil come to an end. I know I'm behind on the books. I know you're behind on the books.
Yes.
But I guess, and it might be hard for us to kind of offer our opinions, but I mean, I feel like I've heard some fans get into the series, the High Republic series. I know I'm definitely a fan of the ones I've read, especially the kickoff book. Light of the Jedi was incredible by Charles Soule, and I'm definitely going to get into it more and read more and try to get through it. But I wonder, I just wonder how much this was really received by fans.
And unfortunately, I don't think The Acolyte helped. I think they were kind of hoping that The Acolyte would help people read. And I almost wonder how much of the novels actually feed The Acolyte, like provide context to it in one way or another. And we're behind. We have no way of knowing that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the High Republic was banking that The Acolyte would help.
Yes, I think so.
And so I don't think a lot of people, unfortunately, are going to be exposed to the High Republic that we would like. Now, it's helped that games like Jedi Survivor does, a little tip of the hat to the High Republic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But at the same time, you're only talking to part of your audience. The majority of your audience is watching the TV shows and watching the movies. They see The Acolyte and they hear that it's part of the High Republic. Unfortunately, the majority of their opinion is, why would I waste my time reading the High Republic? Meanwhile, if it was successful, then maybe you would all of a sudden see a increase in High Republic sales.
Yes.
So unfortunately, unless they bring something else along to highlight the High Republic, I don't think we're going to see much more of this world.
Mm-hmm.
Which is unfortunate, because I feel like there's a lot you could explore, especially and once again, haven't been caught up on the books, so they might go into this and I just have no idea. But the parallels between the Nihil and the Yuuzhan Vong from the extended universe, there are so many parallels, and that is such an interesting enemy to describe, an enemy that cannot be detected by the Force. Like, come on.
Right.
So I feel like there's so many interesting things you could explore there.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if they're going to be willing to do that now.
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I guess part of me does wonder, because when did this launch? It was like 3 years ago at least, right? 3 or 4 years ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
Well, I mean, each phase has been at least a year.
Yeah.
So it's been
roughly
2020. It's 25 now, so it was 2022 maybe is when it launched.
Let me see.
Yeah. So you for me in a way, I wonder, was there a plan to do the Acolyte in the High Republic era based on the book series?
Light of the Jedi was released on January 5th, 2021.
2021. Wow. So it's been over 4 years.
Yeah.
And so you got to think that, Acolyte was last year. So they probably went into production kind of at the same time, right?
Yeah.
But I kind of wonder, did High Republic come up and then they thought, well, let's do a series and let's just set it in the High Republic, see if we can kind of get it, like you said, kind of like get it, hitting on both cylinders at the same time. Didn't go as well probably as planned, but but I guess my, and again, I haven't read the books, all of them too, so I don't know. But part of me is like, how does this tie into, or is it at all supposed to tie into anything that we've gotten in, from the Skywalker timeline, right? Because
I don't think it's supposed to. I think it's
like
supposed
why 200 years before? Like why at that point? Because in my opinion, if you were going to do this, like I would have went Old Republic.
Oh, hands down, Old Republic. The only thing I can think of, and only because in the last episode of The Acolyte, we saw Darth Plagueis. Or, sorry, we saw who we assume to be Darth Plagueis.
It was Darth Plagueis, yeah.
Like, so at that point, the question is, oh, was the purpose of The Acolyte the origin story of Darth Sidious?
Maybe, yes.
Like eventually getting to that point.
Yes.
But we never
Yes.
got there. So that's
No.
that's the only thing I can think of, is that this was supposed to be the origin story somehow of Darth Plagueis.
Yes. But you got to remember too, like even Acolyte is 100 years.
Oh, sorry, not Darth Plagueis, Darth Sidious. I meant the origin story of Darth Sidious.
Yeah, you said Darth Sidious.
Oh, okay. I thought I said
Yeah.
Darth Plagueis.
But Acolyte still takes place 100 years after the books,
Well,
right? So
right. So I think, but even though
I mean,
it
and
takes,
the only connection really is Yoda and like Venestra Rowe, and
yeah, Venestra, who is crucial. So I don't know if we see I don't know if we see what happens in the novels, and like I don't know. But
yeah,
there are clear connections between the two. And I'm sure there are other things that build up to it that we just aren't aware of because we haven't read all the books.
maybe, yeah,
Just so everyone's aware, I think what it is the first phase was The Light of the Jedi, which ran from January 2021 to February 2022. The second phase started in October 2022. And the third, which was The Quest of the
Quest
Jedi.
of the Jedi. Yep.
The third phase, The Trials of the Jedi, began in November 2023 and has run until now.
Till now, correct. That's right.
So,
And what's kind of odd, again, maybe I'm sure everybody's read it, knows the explanation, but the second phase that you said goes back in time.
yep.
It's a prequel kind of to like 100 or something, 130 years before the first phase, and then this third phase picks up back after the first phase. So again, I'm still kind of interested in why they did that, and I'm sure it's explained in the novels, but
We have to get there.
yeah. But I don't know. Maybe I'll look back at some of these interviews and see if there's an explanation on truly why they chose this point in time to write these books about, and not like go back and write like 1,000 years before, when there was Sith Wars, and that's what I want.
Give me Old Republic.
Hannah, as long if we just keep saying it, it will happen.
I'm going to manifest it.
Yes.
Even though I work for the company and I don't speak for the company, and this is my opinion, mine alone.
Yes.
Gosh darn it, give us the Old Republic.
I know, right? Yeah, absolutely. So,
It'll happen eventually.
So a lot of catching up to do on the High Republic, but definitely want to catch up, and because there are some good characters in there, and
Wait,
I want to understand what's going on in the stories and stuff like that. So
yep.
beyond that, there's some new comics that are coming. There's a Han Solo comic coming. As far as the comics that are on the shelf right now, like I said, there's a new. Well, I'll get there. So, but to finish out June, Legacy of Vader just came out number 5 this week. Next week, Jedi Knights number 5. Week after that, July 9th, Legacy of Vader number 6. Star Wars number 3, which is July 16th. And Star Wars, I am making an effort to try to catch up on Star Wars because, the first volume of Star Wars was between 4 and 5. Second volume was between 5 and 6. Now this volume is after 6. So this is truly new adventures, and we don't know. Obviously, we know what happens somewhat to our main characters. We don't know everything.
You know what, Dave? Let's just say this. What week do you want to take off from work so you and I can just do a whole marathon of Star Wars Beyond the Saga catch up?
Yes, I know, right? Lots.
Oh,
there's also a new comic series of Dr. Aphra called Chaos Agent is dropping. And then this is the High Republic final. It's called High Republic, the finale, issue number 1, coming July 30th on the comic side. So like I said, the last novel is out, but now it's the last series of comics coming from the High Republic that's going to debut late July.
It's really inconsiderate of them to keep pushing out new content for us to consume, and we have no time to.
Oh, I know. To catch up. Yeah, I know.
It's so rude.
Very rude. Very, very, very rude. Okay, so the only thing I really wanted to, I guess I got excited about a little bit when they dropped this, but for those of you that's kind of been surfing Twitter the last couple of days, there's a lot of people that have been posting about the Star Wars Galaxy map that's out there. Now, a little bit of backstory. This has been released in several DK books. Occasionally you'll get a Galaxy map, and it's just filled with all the worlds that has been canonized. But it hasn't really been on a location online that you can kind of find. It's just been like an image on books, and people scan it and put it out there. But now apparently, if you go to StarWars.com, now as of right now, and Hannah was looking too, you can't really navigate to it.
I can't figure out how.
Right. So if you find a link on a post, it probably will take you to StarWars.com/star-wars-galaxy-map.
Or what you can do is you can just Google Star Wars Galaxy map, and it'll pop up there.
Star Wars Galaxy map. So if you go to this site, it gives you a pretty detailed, interactive version of the Star Wars map.
It's insane. And the amount of information this provides to us today, holy smokes.
Yes. I'm wondering if they will ever name the galaxy. Like, how ours is the Milky Way?
I think they'll just call it the Galaxy.
Star Wars Galaxy map? Yeah, okay. So when you go there and you're looking at this, I love this because I'm a canon person, and I like knowing where things are, and I love telling me when things take place, and this, I love this thing. Like I truly love looking around this thing because first off, I am blown away by how many actual worlds are on this thing.
It's a little overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming because part of me feels like has every one of these worlds been mentioned in something?
It's at least been verbally mentioned.
So that's the only reason it's really on here, is it has been mentioned.
But because when I was trying to figure out, okay, is there a direct way on the Star Wars website to get to this map? An article popped up from Screen Rant, someone who clearly doesn't have anything else to do.
Right.
And they were able to go through this map and say, this confirms this confirms that, this supports this supports that. And I'm just like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
Should we go through a couple of these or should we just like,
Yeah, no, totally.
okay.
I mean, I wanted us to
Yeah.
kind
So
of talk about.
so this is what this is. So, oh no, computer, don't do this to me. Okay, this is some of the information that apparently this map reveals, according to this Screen Rant article that came out like 5 hours ago. So this author claims that it sets up the Jedi origin movie location because in Andor season 1, they name dropped an alien race called the Rakata that were conquerors of the old Star Wars expanded universe. The second season also confirms this alien race by confirming the date of the Rakatan conquest and the fact that it affected Mon Mothma's homeworld, Chandrilla. So the homeworld of the Rakata, Rakata Prime, appears on the galaxy map. It's in G11, part of the unknown regions. And it's very close to Aktu and Jeddah, which is the site of the first Jedi temple and a world that once served as the seat of Jedi power. So something to consider.
Yeah.
Another, like, there are several points, and we're not going to go
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
them. But the other one I wanted to bring up was season 3 got a lot more tragic of the Bad Batch. And the reason why is this. Clone Force 99, we all know they settled on the planet Pabu.
Yes.
And that's in L3. If you're looking at this map right now, you'll see it in L3. Omega was held prisoner on Wayland, which is another planet in the Outer Rim territories. And what's even more tragic, it's on the grid as N7.
Yep.
She
Pretty
was
close.
so close to Pabu. So anyway, and there are a bunch of other things that like they said, oh, this reveals, but those were the two that stood out to me.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I love how, I mean, the consistency that they have done with this, because there was a map like this prior to Disney buying Star Wars. Like this kind of map existed, although there's some differences now that some of the worlds have been moved around, but they always kind of kept the layers of this, which is the deep core, the core, and then you have the colonies, the inner rim,
Yeah.
the expansion region, the mid rim, the outer rim, the unknown regions. I need to look into more like why the unknown regions haven't been charted really. I know in some of the books, like the Chiss Ascendancy books, the space out there is very hard to navigate. Like obviously Exegol's there too, and we know from the Rise of Skywalker how hard it is to get to Exegol. The Chiss homeworld, is it Chisla?
Chisla, I think.
Yeah.
But like there are several different home planets because there are several different families
Correct.
of the Chiss.
Yeah. But I like Jeddah is like on the cusp of the unknown regions. Aktu, I don't think I realized until I saw this map that Aktu is in the unknown regions. So it is pretty incredible to kind of surf around here, and you got Hutt space, and you got the Bothan space, and you got all the hyperspace lanes that you can see. I mean, it's truly amazing that you kind of could put this together. I always love kind of seeing these core worlds, because this is kind of where like most of the government and things like that kind of operate. Obviously Coruscant's there.
Yeah.
Alderaan. It was there. It's not there anymore, but it is still on this map. Chandrilla is
Too
right
soon,
there.
Dave. Too soon.
I know. But it's no, it's very cool to have this to reference. So now, when you do come across a name of a world or read a story, that you can try to find it on here. Now, I believe on this page, if you go down to, or let's see, if you go down to, if you underneath it, it says Star Systems of the Galaxy, and it has a link there that says Explore More. If you click on that, it gives you a PDF of all the worlds.
Oh, awesome.
In this. So this is where you can find it on the map, right? So if you come across the name of a system you read about in a comic or something like that, you can go to this PDF and then find it, and then it'll tell you in the grid where to find it. So you don't have to just search.
Control Alt Find or Control Alt F or Control or Command F and type it in, and boom.
Boom, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, let us know what you all, listeners and viewers, what have you discovered on the map?
Yeah, I mean, God, how many, does this number them?
I don't know.
It doesn't number them.
It's, as I said, it's very overwhelming.
So this, oh wow, okay, I can do some quick math here. So this has, oh my gosh, hold, stand by, hold on a second. I want to do this real quick. Let's see.
I'll vamp while drinking my seltzer water from my wine glass
2,
because
4,
we're
6,
doing dishes.
8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 2, 4, 6, 8, 40, 2, 4, 6, 8, 50. Okay, so it looks like there's 50 on, no, there's more. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Bear with me. 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. 2, 4, 6, 8, 40. 2, 4, 6, 8, 52. Okay, so 52, 104. So there's 104 worlds on each one of these pages.
I was about to say, do you want me to tell you what Google AI tells me how many worlds are mapped out on this map?
Oh, what does it say?
I mean, Google AI, let's be honest, not always honest, but it claims 881.
No, not even close.
Including planets, moons, and other celestial bodies.
Not even close.
The Star Wars galaxy is vast, with an estimated 3.2 billion planets, but only a fraction of those have been explored and mapped. So that actually gives context into why it's only specific planets. It's because it's the only ones that have been mapped. But according to this, 881.
Okay. No, not even close. So I just counted on one, like, are you looking at the PDF?
No, I'm not. The PDF is going to overwhelm me.
So the PDF has, like I said, the first page, it has 2 columns on it.
Oh God,
and each column has 52 worlds. So it's
scared.
104 worlds per page. There's 59 pages of this, Hannah. So 104 worlds.
But you have to keep in mind that some of those pages are not going to. Why did it take what? You have to keep in mind some of those pages aren't going to have as many planets on them.
What do you mean? These are all the systems that are on the galaxy.
Hang on, where is it?
These are all the systems on the galaxy.
Oh, explore more. Here we go.
This is where you can look up the name.
Oh my God.
And you can find it on the map, right?
Okay.
So if you do, there's 104 per page. There's 58 full pages. So right there, that's 6,032 systems. And then there's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 27. So there's 27 on the last page. So that's 6,059 systems on this map.
As I said, Google AI, not always accurate. As I said,
Way off.
I said that. Google AI is not always accurate.
But okay, so I wish I would have asked you that. I wish I would have asked you, Hannah, like, just glance at the map. How many dots do you see?
Oh yeah, if I glanced at the map, it would have been like well over 5,000. That would have been my answer.
Oh, you think so? Oh, I would. I don't think I would have went there. I would have maybe said
well
like
over 5,000.
I would have said like maybe 2,000 to 3,000.
No, I would have said well over 5,000.
Okay.
But I just wanted to tell you what Google AI had to say.
Right.
Because low key, I like making fun of Google AI whenever I can.
Oh, funny. Yeah, funny. Well, anyway, okay, so somewhere around 6,059 systems on this map. That, hey, you just said it. That's a lot of work for somebody.
Somebody either
Somebody had
got
a lot of
paid
time.
buku bucks for it, or somebody had way too much free time and they didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah. And you almost have to you almost can't put a world too close to each other because then you couldn't put the name next to it.
Well, also gravity would anyway.
Oh, yeah, gravity. Yeah. This is and you can zoom in pretty good and like I'm actually zooming in right now. Like you can go all the way in and read this. It's pretty awesome. I'm going to enjoy kind of looking around in this thing. So,
yeah. Let's see what secrets you discover.
yeah. I mean, I can definitely recognize like obviously Kashyyyk, but there's Braca I've heard of. There's Umbara, that's from the Clone Wars. Gosh, some of these I just haven't heard of. Like
I'm sure it's some obscure reference in a comic or a book.
like Exodine, like Rendili. I mean, there's Duro. I know that one. Corellia. Hosnian Prime. But Botar. And Duwat.
Do what?
Fu. Jiju. It's like, where? I don't know these.
They
Anyway.
exist somewhere.
They were mentioned apparently, so I love it. I mean, it just the biggest thing for me, it truly does. You know, the stories we've gotten, the things we watch, it does in a way make it feel smaller because we're only on a planet or two at a time.
Well, also, like in addition to that, you have something called, editing. So you don't see the travel from one place to another.
True.
And also they have something called hyperspace.
Yeah.
So
But what I'm saying is that
yeah.
even though if you look at the movies and the shows,
It feels so small.
you can probably count like maybe 50 planets or something like that we've explored, right?
Yeah.
But to say there's over 6,000 that we haven't, it's like, wow. It really puts into perspective how vast the galaxy actually is, you know?
I think it really, really helps because when we think of Star Wars, we're like, oh yeah, it's this galaxy. But we don't really, we think it's pretty small.
Yes.
And I feel like this just helps us realize, whoa.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yikes.
And in Ahsoka, we actually traveled to a different galaxy.
Yes, we do.
So
Ah, dadgummit.
I guess somebody's working on that map. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go, guys. I think it'd be fun to go check that out. I'll post this on our socials too, and our Facebook group and stuff like that. So
Yeah, let us know what you discover.
yeah, man, check it out. I love talking about this, and I'm going to do more. I'm actually going to dive more into this Timelines book finally and do some more Patreon episodes with that. So yeah, go look for that. And if you're interested in joining our Patreon, patreon.com/InsideTheForce. And check out our YouTube channel with all of our shows. Some more Beyond the Sagas coming out. We got a couple more working on with the comics. Trying to get caught up on that a little bit. Is there a novel you've read that we need to? What's the latest one you read?
I'm sure.
Yeah. You just did Tarkin.
Tarkin was the last one. Raid in the Empire was before that. I know we still need to do Leia.
Oh yeah.
We need to do.
Fortunately, we got to redo Leia because something messed up on the audio.
You brought that one up. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Well, that's all right. That's fine. People should know sometimes that it's technical problems happen. You know,
technology doesn't work when you want it to.
So we have to fix it sometimes. We're being pretty fortunate. We don't get a lot of that.
And I'm sure there are others I'm just not thinking of right now because time is soup. And I think we've done certain books that we haven't, and I think we haven't done others that we have.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of listening to The Living Force right now.
I probably should hop back into the High Republic.
High Republic. Yeah, we probably should.
Yeah. I'll make that my next one.
Okay. Well, thanks, Hannah.
Thanks, Dave.
This has been awesome. I love talking this map stuff. You know, we'll even though Star Wars isn't there, we'll find something to talk about.
There's always something to talk about.
Always something to talk about. All right. Have fun, everybody, the rest of the week. We'll see you guys next week. Have fun at work, Hannah.
Thank you. You too, Dave.
Yeah. Yes. Fun. It's hot as heck out there right now.
So I sent a meme to one of my friends, which for those of you who are into anime and Hayao Miyazaki and have seen Howl's Moving Castle.
No, I don't know.
No, okay, never mind. Yeah. The witch, when she steps out of her carriage and is trying to climb up the stairs, and she's this big woman and she's just melting. And I'm like, this is me right now whenever I step outside. And my friend was like, oh, that's so funny. That's like us in the north. What's your temperature like? And I said, high 90s. And I meant to type 100% humidity, but I texted 100% humility.
Oh, yeah.
And then later I'm like, you know what? I meant humidity, but humility works. With this heat, like it gives you a slice of humble pie.
Yeah. So there's one of our clients, Scholastic, is doing a shoot right now in New York.
Oh no.
And today I talked to the crew and it was 105.
It was cooler it was hotter up there than it was in Florida.
Yeah, hotter than here too. We only got to 92 today.
We got to 94, I think.
They were 105.
Yikes.
And in the house they were in wasn't really that cool.
No.
So they were. Anyway. Keep cool out there, everybody.
Yes. Hydrate. Right. Hydrate.
Hydrate with Diet Coke.
Oh, I totally bought 4 packs of the liquid IV from Costco.
Oh, right. Yeah. Corey drinks a lot of that. All right. Also, since there's a little downtime as well, look for some more council sessions. Me and Martin are going to be doing some of those this weekend as well. So got some good topics to talk about. All right. Hannah, good seeing you.
Good seeing you too, Dave.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you next week. May the Force be with you.